Hello, everybody. Let's go over this playlist that I am always talking about. All right. I say it's the best playlist on YouTube and that you're going to get lost in this and just have the greatest time you've ever had in your life. First one, Wheated Whiskey. Just put this one together, okay? I'm going to just feature all the whiskeys that are made primarily from wheat. Here we go. Next one, Sake and Plum Wine. So I've got all kinds of sojus and sakis and plum wines on that one. Craftsman Cliff Roasters. That's a coffee company where I'm just featuring. Really enjoy this coffee company, so I feature a lot of his blends. Whiskey Blasphemy. This is a fun one. This is where I take expensive whiskey and put it in the cheapest soda I can. Contempor Roast Coffee and Roastery. Now, actually, that is my favorite coffee company, Contempor Roast. I really love their stuff. You got to check that out. They got some really unique stuff on that. That company does. Exotic vodka flavors. Look at that. Want to find out every type of vodka flavor there is? Right here, man. You get some interesting stuff. What do we got here? Jim Beam. I got a whole playlist just for Jim Beam's products. Woodford Reserve, right next to it, same thing. This right here, the whole thing, just Woodford Reserve. Buffalo Trace next to that. You're gonna have fun with that one. Old Forester next to that. Heaven Hill next to that. And then I got one for Canadian beers. How about that? And then we come down here. I got a 50-state coffee journey. That was fun. That's where I took one coffee roaster from every state. And it took me a year to put that together and a year to post it. See if your state's in there and what I said about the coffee and if you've had it. How about this one? Most popular Mexican coffees. That's surprising when you watch that, when you find out what number one was. But that's the top most popular coffees that the people of Mexico drink. How about Spanish cava and sparkling wine? All right, it's their version of champagne. Japanese whiskey, right here, Japanese whiskey. And then we got what? Beaujolais wine. And then espresso. Everything you ever want to know about espresso right here. Oh, yes, sir. Let's go up and see what else I got. I'm telling you, this thing's extensive. How about pumpkin beers, huh? You ever want to know about pumpkin beer? Oktoberfest beer? How about different contests I put together? All the different contests I put together. You're going to enjoy that. How about French red wine? How about red Bordeaux wine? Get a little more specific. How about beer finished in whiskey barrels? That's a fun one. How about Burgundy? Huh? Chablis, white Burgundy right here. How about alcohol-infused coffee? Alcohol-infused coffee. You're going to love that, man. That's got some cool stuff. And here's one just flavored coffee. And then we've got ways to make coffee. That's fun. If you've ever wondered how to make it, different styles, different ways to make it, I got some unique stuff on there for you. How about Spanish red wines right there? How about just French white wine right there? And then we've got Indian whiskey, if you've ever been interested in it. And then I've got all my shorts. A lot of fun shorts right there. How about Italian beer right there? How about canned coffees? You ever interested in trying some canned coffees? How about brewery videos? Sweet dessert wine right here. Huh? Look at that. Sweet dessert wine. And then what do we got down here? We've got Guinness. All right. Let me bring that up a little bit so you can read it. There we go, right there. Guinness, beers. And then next to that, non-alcoholic beverages. Got to try that. How about white wine blends, Greek wines, Romanian wines, and finally sangria wine, right? You've ever wondered about all this stuff, man? I've got it. I put it together for you. How about Malbec right here? Malbec. Ever wonder about Malbec? How about Petit Syrah? How about Merlot? Carmenere? How about liqueurs and cordials right there? How about flavored whiskeys? Huh? How about rare white wine? Gewürztraminer? Italian white wine? Chenin Blanc? Pinot Noir? Pinot Grigio? Pinot Gris? Sauvignon Blanc? Chardonnay? How about the Kentucky Derby? I live in Kentucky here. How about Shiraz and Syrah? How about Thanksgiving videos? What to drink and what to eat? How about Zinfandels? Huh? What else we got down here? Oh, this list is endless, man. How about some Riesling wine? Cabernet Sauvignon. How about some Easter videos, huh? Oh, yeah. What kind of drinks you going to do on Easter? How about Yingling beer? St. Patrick's Day beverages? 4th of July beverages, man. I'm telling you, I got you covered. Get into some of this, man. This stuff is fun. How about Christmas and Hanukkah? Huh? How about red blends? American whiskey, Tennessee whiskey. How about spiked popsicles? Huh? How about some dog videos? All right, I got a couple dogs. How about some smoothies and slushies? How about spiked and infused drunken fruits? That one's fun. How about cocktails and mixed drinks? Hot chocolate and chocolate drinks. Hard seltzer and spiked sparkling water. Irish beers, fruit beers, eggnog reviews, coffee creamers and sweeteners, pumpkin mania. That's just cool. Look at that. Look at that. You'll see it when you get on there. Witching hour, Halloween beverages, and more. Oh boy, including something. How about Asian beer? And what do we got down here? What do we got? It keeps going, man. It keeps going. How about, well, let's take it all the way up. Oh, let's go, man. I'm telling you, I got a heck of a playlist, man. I wasn't faking it. How about light beers, flavored malt beverages, Mexican beer, instant coffee, decaffeinated coffee. When I got bum wine, Sauterne, Israeli wine, sodas, soft drinks, port-style wine, South African wine, jug wine, Portuguese wine, Argentine wine, Spanish white wine, Chilean wine, cider, Australian wine, mead reviews, Irish whiskey reviews. How about a little bit about my personal life? Want to learn a little bit about my personal life? I threw it in there. Italian red wines, rum reviews, Canadian whiskey reviews. Oh, man, even I'm surprised how much stuff I got on here. I forgot how much stuff I have on here. How about kosher wine reviews, brandy and cognac reviews, tequila reviews, gin reviews, vodka reviews, Scotch whiskey reviews, winery reviews, winery tours, moonshine and corn whiskey. How about rosé and blush wines, German wine, coffee reviews, French wine reviews, fruit wines, distillery tours, rye whiskey reviews, tea reviews.